Some of humanity's best stories involve time travel. In 1895, H.G. Wells popularized the concept with his groundbreaking book, The Time Machine. From that point on, our culture has been littered with these stunning tales. Whether it's a magical pocket watch used by Harry Potter, or a souped-up Delorian driven by Marty McFly, time travel never fails to amaze us. But could it be real? This is a subject of considerable debate among scientists, and perhaps we'll never truly know until someone invents a working time machine. But what if that has already happened? Maybe, just maybe, someone in the future already has a time machine. And if this is true, then what if time travelers have already appeared in our past? What if there are time travelers walking among us right now? Is there any evidence for this?
$51 million people entering another
surveillance camera capturing the
unidentified flying object.
lockdowns and mass testing.
Today, that the world is going to end.
Generally speaking, scientists today believe that time travel could be possible. The most common example involves a spaceship capable of faster-than-light travel. Theoretically, if you were to travel across the universe on one of these spaceships and return home after a long-distance voyage, you would find that time had passed at a faster rate on Earth. Let's say you had a young child when you boarded your spaceship. Upon arriving home from your faster-than-light journey, you might discover that your child is now older than you. But what about traveling backwards in time? This is quite different, and many scientists believe that it is completely impossible. On the other hand, some maintain that if you traveled through a black hole or a wormhole, you could end up in the past. Renowned scientists like Stephen Hawking have stated that backwards time travel is not impossible, and others have stated that if you were to go through a wormhole, you would only be able to travel backwards in time, not forwards. But of course, this is all just theoretical. Or is it? What if we had evidence of time travelers appearing in our past? What about the famous 1941 photograph that seems to show a modern-day hipster hanging out with a crowd of people in British Columbia, Canada? Looking at his clothing, he seems completely out of place next to the other individuals in formal hats and suits. He appears to be wearing modern sunglasses, some kind of hoodie, and a t-shirt with a printed design. Is he a time traveler? Some believe so. And what about all the strange shoe prints left behind in rock that is millions or even billions of years old? In 2021, it was reported that a shoe print had been dated to 15 million years old in Nevada. It appeared to be a perfect size 13 shoe with a double-stitched line around the outside. Some scientists say that it is just a fossil of a primitive life form, and that its shape is just a coincidence. Others aren't so sure. Similar footprints have been found all over the world, in China, South America, and many other locations. Some of these shoe prints are apparently hundreds of millions of years old. One of the most well-known examples shows the outline of what appears to be a leather sandal found in Utah. If you look closely, you can see a trilobite fossil around the heel area, but this shouldn't be possible, because trilobites went extinct almost 300 million years ago. And what about the so-called London hammer? This modern tool somehow became wedged in a rock that was dated to the Lower Cretaceous period, about 100 million years ago. Found in London, Texas, back in the 1930s. This is yet another example of an anomalous artifact, something that clearly does not fit with our understanding of history. What about the various examples of human hands appearing in rock that is hundreds of millions of years old? One of the most famous of these is the handprint left behind in Cretaceous rock, right alongside dinosaur fossils. This fossil fits perfectly with the size of a human hand. Are these rock formations simply coincidence? Or are they evidence of time travelers exploring our distant past? Perhaps these adventurers wanted to see dinosaurs with their own two eyes. And what about all the various historical accounts of people appearing, speaking strange, unfamiliar languages, seemingly transplanted into our time zone from another, long-forgotten time period? One of the best-known examples of this is Rudolf Fentz, who reportedly appeared in New York City in 1951. He was wearing clothes from the 1800s when he was hit by a car and killed. A close examination found that he was quite young, and that he had items in his possession that also came from the 1800s. A theory began to emerge that he had traveled through time, although the tale of Rudolf Fentz is today dismissed as a mere urban legend. The so-called Man from Laxaria is another interesting tale, known only as Joseph Voren. This individual appeared in Germany in the 1850s, claiming to come from a mysterious nation called Laxaria. He couldn't speak any European language except for a very old variant of German. When he viewed a map, the man indicated that the continent seemed to be in the wrong places, and that in his opinion, there should have been a much larger landmass in place of Greenland. The individual was sent to Berlin for further examination, but managed to escape, vanishing into the woods. Could this have been a time traveler? The Utsuro Bune could also be evidence that we were visited by time travelers in the past. This object washed up on the shores of Japan in 1803, and it seems to have been a UFO of some kind. A young woman emerged from the inside of the object, and although she seemed to have been human, she was unable to speak a word of Japanese. Perhaps this UFO was actually some kind of time-traveling device, and it crashed into the ocean before washing ashore on the coast of Japan. In 1932, ETTORE MAJORANA disappeared without a trace. A single witness stated he was on the verge of a major scientific discovery when he left Italy and relocated to Buenos Aires. It was at that point that he literally vanished from the face of the earth. In 1955, a photo surfaced of ETTORE that seemed to suggest he had reappeared, and that he hadn't aged a single day since his disappearance. Did ETTORE invent some kind of time travel device? And then there's this famous man from Taured, who appeared in the Tokyo airport in 1951. Somehow, this individual had stamps in his passport that indicated he had visited Tokyo airport on many previous occasions. But this was seemingly impossible, because the Tokyo airport had only been established that year. When confronted with this, the man allegedly became alarmed. He stated that he was from a country called Taured, a country that no one had ever heard of. He panicked and demanded to see a map, indicating that in his world, Taured existed in the same place as present-day Andorra. The Japanese authorities became suspicious and kept him in a hotel room under armed guard, but during the night, the man vanished without a trace. Could he have been a time traveler as well? In addition, there are many anonymous people on the internet that have predicted the future. Some of these predictions have been eerily accurate. One notable example is John Titor, a man who started posting on the internet around 1999. This individual claimed to be a time traveler, and he started posting on the internet and requesting help rebuilding his time machine. His posts also contained many predictions about the future, most of which have proven to be false. Many other internet users have made various predictions about the future. Only time will tell whether they come true. There are even those who believe that Donald Trump exploited time travel technology through his uncle, John Trump. John, a successful scientist, allegedly gained access to classified Tesla technology. Some believe that Donald was able to use his technology to alter certain historical events, possibly explaining how he was able to beat the odds and become president in 2016. Of course, this is all just a conspiracy theory. Is there any evidence that humans have created technology capable of time travel? Two alleged accounts come to mind: the German Glock or Bell Project and the Philadelphia Project. We have spoken about both of these concepts in previous videos, but here's a basic rundown. The Glock was allegedly a secret German project developed during World War II by the Third Reich. Some say that this mysterious object had the ability to travel through time. The Philadelphia Project was an American operation that allegedly involved using Tesla technology to teleport a Navy vessel. Some believe that along with teleportation, the technology was also capable of time travel. So what if time travel is real after all? If true, then the implications are tremendous. It would mean that our timeline is unstable, and that various people might be changing certain history on a regular basis. You might go to sleep one night and wake up in a completely different reality, simply because someone went back and altered a major world event. What if someone went back in time and helped the Germans win World War II? What if someone stopped certain technology from being developed? What if time travelers have saved the planet from nuclear Armageddon in the past? Really makes you think. And at the end of the day, we can only hope that if this technology is real, then people in the future are acting responsibly. All it takes is one time traveler to completely destroy the fabric of space and time. But we're still here now, so it hasn't happened yet.